All right, hey everyone, hope you guys are well. Today's video is on the pound. So GBPUSD, we're taking a look at this market as it breaks below its range lows. So this is something I've talked about now for really the past few weeks, ever since the market broke below 132.50. This is when I turned bearish on the pound and also bullish on the US dollar. The reason for that, if we go back here toward the weekly time frame, you can see where this right here was the first weekly close below the previous high. So notice how since April back here, we had the market moving in this stair-step pattern. And what's notable about this is that looking back here, you can see we had a weekly close through here, and the pound never closed below it through here, okay? We had a weekly close here. The market tested it on this candle, but clearly never closed below. Then we had this closing price back here, and guess what? We got the market closing below, so that made this up here a failed breakout, and we got the move lower. All right, so this really is when I started turning bearish on this market. But let's talk about where this market could be going, because I know that's what you guys want to hear. So looking here at the daily time frame. So this is what we've talked about over the past few days, including the recent weekly forecast. So what I mentioned there was that we had this key area right back here for the pound, right around 128.50 all the way up to about 129. So you can see this was range support through this area while the market was going sideways. And we have the breakdown so far today, which is not a surprise, considering the fact that the DXY looked bullish closing above 104.50 last week. Again, I talked about this in the weekly forecast. Hopefully you guys were on the right side of these markets. So with the pound breaking down, this area up here now flips to resistance. However, given where the DXY is trading, and we'll talk about that next, I would be surprised if we saw a full retest up here from the pound. All right, typically when you get an impulsive move like this out of a range, you don't typically get a full retest up here. In fact, if we were to get that, then this would start to look more like a failed breakdown from the pound. So instead, if this is going to be a continuation for the move down here toward this trend line, like I think it will be, all right, so notice how back here from this low back here in March of 2023, we've got several touches off of this level. And this area down here is now going to be my magnet or target for the pound. So if this breakout from this range is going to be a continuation for the move down toward 1.26, then this right here, okay, I would be surprised if we get a full retest of 128.50. So instead, what we can do here is look at something like the hourly chart. And what you'll notice is we do have a pocket of consolidation right back here that could become an area to look for potential shorts. So in other words, if we were to get the pound, moving back here to test this area, over the coming days, that could present a short opportunity for the move lower. So right around 1.28, maybe just above that mark. All right, so from there, looking for a move down here toward levels like these lows back here around 126.80 or so, and then potentially a move down there toward that trend line around 1.26. All right, so let's take a look here at the DXY, the US dollar index, and take a look at this market, because this is obviously going to matter for the pound. It has mattered. For a lot of these markets, it's really brought some clarity to trading things like the euro and the pound. Now, before we get into this, guys, if you want a broker you can trust, join Blueberry Markets. Check out the link in the description of this video. If you're on the website, scroll all the way down and click on that broker link. You can trade Forex, crypto, commodities, and indices, and also get 30% deposit bonus with my link. And like I mentioned yesterday too, guys, we are going to be running a trading competition where the top prize is going to be a $1,000 trading account that you can also withdraw. So it's going to be incredible. I'm really excited about it. Stay tuned for that. More details to come. So looking at the DXY, this is what we've talked about here recently over the past few weeks. We got the move below the bottom of this channel here that goes back to 2023. So nice little fake out below here. You can see this level broke down to this area. We got the reclaim at 102.60. We've talked about all of this at length. I mean, every single day, basically, we've talked about this move up here from the DXY and how this reclaim at 102.60 was bullish and how that also exposed 104.50. So this was my target going into the US election, and you can see that we got that through here. Now, we did get a pullback. However, during this time, guys, I was saying look for shallow pullbacks from the US dollar down here toward 103.20 or so. It came close, didn't quite give us a full retest there, but then we got the weekly close above 104.50 last week. So again, with the weekly forecast, guys, this is what I was talking about. This was bullish here for the DXY. If we go toward the weekly time frame, you can see where we did get the weekly close above 104.50. Okay, so these highs right back here. And notice how we didn't even get a retrace so far this week. This has been a very bullish market, And now it is breaking above that October 2023 trend line, right? So at the moment, guys, we do have the DXY pushing into some highs here. Okay, so we could get a slight pullback from the US dollar as it pushes into these highs around 106. All right, so this is that scenario where we could see the pound give us a little bit of relief, into areas like 1.28, right, for that potential sell toward areas like 1.26. So the bottom line is, you don't want to short from down here because you're shorting right into these lows. You need some relief here in order to get that favorable risk reward. All right, so with the DXY, if we do get the pullback down here into this October 2023 trend line, then that right there could offer the short on pairs like the pound and the euro. Okay, now obviously it's going to be critical to see this area hold here for the DXY. If it were to close back below this, then we have a failed breakout, and that would be bearish for the US dollar, at least in the short term. All right, so all things to consider here, but the bottom line is, if we take a look at this chart for the DXY, basically 105.40 or so is going to now be a must-hold level for bulls, and 106 is going to be resistance. So right about today's high, this level back here, climb above that, we still have these highs to deal with. So really, you could almost call this a pocket of resistance up here between 106 and 106.50. Now, like I've said recently, it might be a bold call, but I am looking for potentially the DXY moving back toward levels like 109 to 110 through the rest of this year. And the reason for that, if you look at this here, it's been a very aggressive move up here over the past couple of months. And not only that, but it also reclaimed the bottom of this channel down here. Okay, it's also now breaking out from this trend line. So all in all, it has been a very bullish move here from the DXY to the point where these highs up here could get swept here over the coming weeks. Now, when you look back at this area, notice this big red candle here on the weekly. We had a very shallow retrace into this, which means there is an imbalance up here around 109 to 110. Not only that, but this was also a pivot back here in this area that has yet to be retested. So all of this leads me to believe that if the DXY can stay strong, continue to break above these levels and also hold areas like this support down here, then we could be looking at a push up toward levels like 109 to 110 later this year. Now, as for the pound, how that would translate here, obviously if the DXY does rally that high, then the pound is probably going to move even lower than this trend line down here around 1.26. But as always, it's going to be a level by level market. So I think right now, just in my opinion, not financial advice, but if you're looking for an opportunity here, I think if the DXY can hold up above that trend line that we just looked at, then you're looking at, shorts up here in this area for the move down here toward lows like this, and potentially that trend line around 1.26. Alternatively, if we were to see a reclaim areas like this up here, then that would be bullish for the pound. Subscribe to the channel and click the bell for notifications. Don't forget to join us in VIP. Claim your 90% off lifetime access. See the link in the description of this video, or if you're on the website, click on that join VIP link. Trade well out there, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.